Hi there. In this 10-minute video, I will be focusing on the hip hinge movement known as the Romanian deadlift. The Romanian deadlift, or RDL for short, is commonly used in the gym to improve flexibility and build your glute and hamstring muscles. It can also be used to strengthen the posterior chain, which can lead to reduced back pain. Being able to control the hip hinge movement is very important for optimal mechanics during weight training, yoga, running, cycling, and other daily activities. We will look at relevant and effective warm-up techniques to the RDL. We'll look at the movement itself, analysing correct form and technique, and looking for any faults during the movement. We will then finish on a regression exercise, which we will use to help those who may struggle with the correct technique of an RDL and help build their confidence. The two main purposes of a warm-up are to reduce injury risk and also prepare the body for training or competition. In this session, our warm-up will be specific to the RDL. Our first warm-up is a single leg bridge. This is great because it helps prime your glutes and hamstrings. Here we're picking the hips up and squeezing the glutes hard, holding for about 3 to 5 seconds. And we're going to do this for about 20 reps on each leg. Then do 10 to 12 step throughs, and as you can see, this is what I like to call kind of a bear position, bringing one leg forward up to your chest, bringing the knee up and planting your foot down while stretching the other leg out. We can do this by holding our legs in the same position for about 2 to 3 seconds and anywhere between 10 to 12 reps for each leg. These stretches will help increase muscle temperature and contraction velocity in the hips and legs. Now we will move on to kettlebell swings. We're going to start in a deadlift position here and grab the kettlebell with both hands, like so. Stand up straight, holding the kettlebell between thighs and begin to swing using momentum. This is a hip hinge movement. So I'm pushing my hips back, going with the kettlebell and then thrusting it forward using my glutes and my core. My back is kept straight throughout with a tight core. Knees are bent ever so slightly, just like in an RDL, and my eyes are kept front and my chin tucked in. This will increase the movement fluidity and heart rate, which will better prepare you for an RDL movement. It best works your posterior chain, and you will feel it in your glutes and hamstrings as well. The dowel RDL is a great warm-up to help practice correct back posture during a Romanian deadlift. Begin by holding the dowel behind your back, with the top touching your head and the bottom touching your sacrum. This should be held constantly throughout the motion. Push the hip back with a slight bend in the knees. Go down as physically possible whilst holding good form, and use the glutes to bring the hips forward. This movement will help with learning the correct form and increase the joint range of motion in the hips. This should be done for 10 reps for 2 sets. Now, onto the main RDL movement itself. We have a loaded bar here with 2 5kg plates. Now you can do this with a 5kg bar or a 15kg bar, but I have a 20kg bar here. Use whatever weight you want on the bar that you feel comfortable with. It's best to start with a lower weight to help ease your way into the motion. Start by standing upright with a straight core and chest, not overextending or slouching. The bar should be held close to the thighs with a shoulder width grip. Using an over grip is probably best suggested, as the load shouldn't be too heavy. Now, keeping the back straight, just like in the dowel RDL, we can lower, and as we do, the hips push back, the chest comes forwards, and the barbell slowly lowers down, close to the shins, all whilst making sure our back stays straight. Our gaze is relaxed, following our chest down. There should be a slight bend at the knees, and there should be a tension in the hamstrings. On the way back up, making sure to stand tall and straight, ready for the next rep, squeezing the glutes and making sure not to extend our back. Using RDLs in training is a leading exercise for many athletes across many sports, as it targets muscle groups used in running, jumping and even throwing, so it pretty much benefits most athletes. Your hamstrings help flex your legs and extend your hips, which is the main movement when driving dynamic power. If somebody in the gym or a client is struggling with the regular RDL, there's a regression I like to use called the dumbbell RDL. This is great as it's in between the dowel RDL and a regular one. It is the exact same movement as mentioned before, except we have 2 free weight dumbbells instead, and this gets rid of the restricting factor of a full bar. Having 2 free weights allows for the person to focus mainly on their back posture, ensuring that they keep a straight back and relaxed gaze on the way down. They can also focus on their external cues, like pushing their bum out and pushing their chest up on the way back up. This helps the client focus more and think less about the bar. They can also go as high as they want in weight or as little as they want, making it a nice, relaxed and easy way to practice the RDL.